Welcome to the Zilab 1 training series. This session will focus on how to use Zilab's search language to search for one or more terms within a dataset. The dataset usually contains files in many forms, not only the terms used in the text, images, or audio files, but also the information about the files, the metadata, can and should be searched. Searches are prone to produce over and under-inclusive results. For this reason, several search techniques are designed to solve this issue. For example, wildcard searches can help find common spelling variations and misspellings, or Boolean searches to specifically include or exclude certain terms. Zilab Search supports Boolean and proximity operators. Use Boolean and proximity operators to combine terms or phrases, making the search query more effective. Operators can be used to broaden or narrow the search. They can also be used to define search queries more precisely. The Boolean operators include and, or, and not. Other operators such as to, in, within, and precedes can establish the relationship between the terms and queries. Using number ranges for dates and numeric values can provide more focused results. The quorum operator can be used to more efficiently search using a list of keywords. The queries can further be enhanced by using term operators such as fuzzy search, wildcards, and field filtering. A search query consists of one or more terms. The terms can be enhanced with term operators such as fuzzy search and/or wildcards, and connected with Boolean or proximity operators. When using Boolean or proximity operators in your search query, group terms or phrases with parentheses to ensure the proper search order is interpreted. Though parentheses are not required, they can influence the outcome of a search. For example, searching for used cars or vans will return different results than searching for used, parenthesis, cars or vans, parenthesis. The first query will return used cars or vans. The second query finds used cars or used vans. Queries placed between the parentheses are processed first. When no parentheses are used to define the order of the precedence in the query, the following default order is applied: not, or, the within and precedes operators are of equal precedence, and then finally the to operator. Once a search query has been executed, a result list will appear. Retrieved terms will be highlighted in the files. Of course, to be found, the terms need to be present in the file. However, whether a term is retrieved also depends on the settings in the character map, the indexing structure, and the tokenizer. Based on the character map, the tokenizer will process all files. The building blocks of the text file are characters, terms, phrases, and hyphenated terms. Characters are letters, numbers, or symbols. Terms are characters or words. They are unique entries in the dictionary with a separator on each side. Phrases are two or more terms with no intervening operator. Phrases must not be entered within quotations when searching in the Zilab system. Hyphenated terms such as sugar-free are two or more separate terms connected with a hyphen. Each term has the same token ID given by the tokenizer. A character map determines which characters are used to separate terms, which characters are indexed, and which ones are used for punctuation, etc. All possible characters that can be recognized and searched are listed on the character map. By default, some characters are not indexed and will not be found unless the default character map is adjusted. How characters are defined in the character map influences the outcome of a search. For more information on the character map, contact your Zilab administrator or go to help.zilab.com. If a term or combination of terms you are searching for contains a hyphen, that term will be found even if you did not include a hyphen in your search query. In other words, you can use one term to find both hyphenated and non-hyphenated forms of the word. For example, when you search for email or e-mail, it will also find the hyphenated version e-mail. However, the hyphenated version, e-mail, will only retrieve e-mail. In this example, the search sugar-free without hyphens would return the hyphenated form sugar-free. Use quotes to search for operators or reserved characters. For example, if you need to search for the word and by itself or as part of a phrase and do not want it to be treated as an operator, use quotes. Another example of when to use quotes is when searching for a web URL or an address containing special characters. In addition to the characters defined by the character map to be recognized by the tokenizer as separators, the tokenizer creates separators to mark the end of a sentence, end of a paragraph, end of a line, end of a page, or the end of a document. These can be helpful in creating targeted searches and can be queried using the operators EOP, EOL, EOG, and EOD. A sample query is as follows. This query will find the term discovery when it appears within one paragraph of the term technology and vice versa. When searching for EOD, the query returns all files with nothing highlighted. Since each file has an EOD token, it is an easy way to find all files in a dataset. When searching, it is best practice to formulate your expectations and test your queries. Operators are placed only between search terms, except for the not operator. Not can be placed at the beginning of a search statement, but never at the end. An operator can appear more than once in a search statement. However, two operators cannot appear in sequence except not, such as and not and or not. Avoid using and not chains. Instead, use a quorum search. It is best practice to use the single character wildcard over the multi-character wildcard. Use a character range over a single wildcard search. Avoid using a search query like *C*, as this will search through the entire library. Use positional queries over proximity queries. Positional queries are more precise. The within operator must include an integer within the range of 1 to 16,382, followed by a space and a content word. You can use one term to retrieve both the hyphenated and non-hyphenated spellings of the term. Here's an example of how the query for the word database is a single word, as a hyphenated word, and as a phrase would be searched. Words that are normally hyphenated are recognized. For example, Winston-Salem. Searches with duplicate words in series also find single occurrence of that word. For example, the search statement Sing Sing would find single occurrences of sing as well as the phrase Sing Sing. All printable characters in the ASCII character set are recognized. A sentence ending period and other trailing punctuation marks are ignored when a space or carriage return follows. Periods are recognized when followed by a character, as in IBM or numerical values. Apostrophes are treated as null characters and ignored. Capital and lowercase letters are considered identical. This means operators such as and or do not need to be capitalized. This concludes the session on Zylab's search language. For further information on this feature, visit the Zylab documentation portal at docs.zylab.com.